Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Ashigarami TV, and we are going to continue with our installment of the Art of CQB, and we're going to focus on, you guessed it, the one thing that everybody wanted to talk about, and that's loadouts. Before we go any further, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. So today's main focus is going to be on loadouts relevant for CQB scenarios and situations, and more or less covering some of the key aspects and some things that might be beneficial for players regardless of skill level. Sometimes in a lot of scenarios, less is more, right? Sometimes more is less. And there are advantages and disadvantages to pretty much everything you can think of, depending on play style and what your gear preferences are in general. And that goes for pretty much all different categories. When you think about the things that would be beneficial for CQB, namely submachine guns, whether they're gas submachine guns, electric, whatever you have, shotguns, air cocking guns, carbines, pistols. Just kind of going down the line with some of the smaller weapons like pistols and submachine guns and other small machine pistols. They do offer you that flexibility and that concealability. In some cases, they lack firepower, and in some cases with larger carbines and shotguns, depending on how they're situated, they do offer that firepower, but you give up that flexibility. So there's a lot of different routes you can kind of take this in. Now, there is no, in my opinion, right or wrong answer. It all pretty much comes down to preference and training. When I first started playing Airsoft a couple of years ago, when I came to Japan and I decided to get into the sport, the main thing that I started focusing on was pistols. My first, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 air guns that I had were pistols. I think I didn't get a sub gun until it was maybe like my 7th or 8th air gun. I decided to get the MP7 a little while ago, and what I run now basically depends on the situation. You know, I bounce between different things, and up until recently, you guys seen me unbox a shotgun, which I'm going to get into, and that's pretty much a beast in its own right. Now, strategy is going to dictate kit, and it pretty much depends on what you're going to use for the situation. Now, another part I want to get into, right, is tuning, customization, and improvement. Is it necessary? What should you get? Now, this again too, this is going to be tricky. It comes down to preference. For me, I feel like whatever I'm going to use, I want to have it operating at peak performance. What I would suggest you do is that you break down what your preferred guns are for the situation. What are you running? And whatever your normal go-to is, make sure that that gun is operating to the efficiency and the level that you want it to. What would you modify? Triggers, springs. Modify the things that are going to make your gun fire more quickly in those confined spaces. That's my recommendation. Adjust your modifications once again to your style of play in CQB. Now, what does that mean? That means if you're a fast-paced kind of guy, you want to have that advantage in being able to move quickly, being able to strike quickly, and to strike with devastating firepower. So you know you have to have those modifications that are going to give you an increased rate of fire. That's the way I look at it. For me, it doesn't really matter. If you see in this video right now, I'm running a shotgun, and let me tell you something. I've been loving the spas for the last couple of months, and let me just say, I'm a big guy. I carry a big frame, and the spas just works for me. It's a tri-shot shotgun. For those of you guys that haven't tried the tri-shot shotguns, highly recommend it. Getting into lights, attachments, grenades, and etc. When is it appropriate to use a light in CQB? Now, different fields have different regulations based on what you can use depending on lumen and the intensity of your light, strobes, and things like that. Just remember, lights are highly advantageous in terms of marking your targets, but they are a big indicator in terms of giving up your position. So be wary of that. Be wary of what you're using. Tracers I would also put in the same category too as well. Remember, in those tight spaces, those type of situations where you're in a confined area with that space dilemma, utilizing those kind of tools can make or break you. Suppressors, in my opinion, work really well. Some of them do. Now, I'm not pretty much referencing that towards mock suppressors. If you looked at my last video where I had the HK45C, I was running the Silencer Co-Osprey, which does have an inner barrel that's a functional suppressor. And you saw how quiet that can work when I was in close range. I was able to pick a guy off with good FPS and then pick off his friend without he didn't even realize what was going on. It was too late. Suppressors do work. Flash hiders also do work in other muzzle devices. Once again, it depends on your playstyle. Grenade usage is also going to vary too. I know a lot of guys have, the grenade launchers that they do use. I don't think that sometimes you really need something like that to be that overstated, but an impact grenade can also be very useful if you want to take a guy out in an area without revealing too much of yourself and without compromising cover. Sometimes those grenades do come in handy, so my suggestion is get an impact grenade and keep it on you if you're playing in those games where maybe you have maybe 8 or 10 people. Sometimes things can get a little bit crazy and you're gonna need to use one. Once again, you can see me pretty much using a grenade in my last video as well, so that's another recommendation that you want to take a look at. Now, in my opinion, these are my top 5 favorite guns for CQB airsoft guns, and this is all based on what I have, what I own, and what I'm using right now. So the first gun on my list is gonna be my Umarex HK45 Compact Tactical, which is the airsoft version of the actual HK45 that was used in the Bin Laden raid. What more can I say about this? This is the Ken Hackathorn, Larry Vickers, Heckler & Koch love child. Airsoft version is excellent. It's probably one of the best pistols, in my opinion, that VFC has ever made. And in terms of accuracy and reliability, as you saw in the first Art of CQB video, it works amazing. That's just my opinion, and it works for me. Second on my list, even though it's newly acquired, is the gun you see me kicking butt with in this video, and that'll be the Spas 12. Now, as I said before, I have a larger frame, and even though this is a pump air cocking shotgun, it does offer the right amount of firepower with the right amount of velocity, which in my opinion, for me, when I run it the way I've been using it, makes the gun almost OP. I have zero difficulty in terms of being able to put up really good fight in CQB with this gun. As you saw most of the engagements where I was engaging guys, even when I got hit, I was also getting kills. So, I definitely recommend the tri-shot shotguns. If you think you can manage the spas, in my opinion, go for it. Third on my list is the MP7A1, the gas blowback Tokyo Marui. When it does work, it's excellent. Right now, mine works. I was able to get it running again. And one of the main reasons why it's so popular and why it's so good right now is because of its size. It's very portable. It's very easy to carry like a backpack if you're going to a game, and also in real life as well. And a lot of people gravitate towards that air gun. It has a good FPS, good power, good flexibility. It's good overall, and probably one of the best CQB gas blowback guns you can have when it works. Just be mindful of all the problems that does come with it. Fourth on my list is my Tokyo Marui USP Compact. I don't know if I've used this so far in a video, but normally when I run my MP7A1, I do have it on my side in my tactical holster, my drop leg tactical holster, and it's just one of those pistols. It just works really, really well. It's very reliable, very accurate. I think I did use it in one of my training videos I did at CQB. What was that the field called again? Up in Kyosu, CQB Cafe. There you go. So if you look at my CQB Cafe training, that's the pistol I was using to hit those metal targets. USP Compact. It's very accurate, and it's overall a very good general purpose handgun for the size. And last on my list is also my newly acquired APS Patriot. It's electric, and it's very, very compact. Pretty much more compact as a shoulder fire weapon than the T6. And if you want to know what that gun is, check out my most recent gameplay video from the 19th of September, and you can see me clearing corners with it like butter, man. And it's just a really excellent gun to use, in my opinion, with a red dot. Very accurate. Now, for my honorable mentions would definitely be my Glocks, my 45, my 26, both of my 17s, and my 18C. And the reason why they're not on my list is because even though they're really good and they're very reliable, they're like general purpose guns, and they're guns that I pretty much use for everything. So I wouldn't exactly call them CQB-esque top 5 guns. They're guns that pretty much, like, if I was gonna just carry a sidearm for, you know, a general situation, whether it's an outdoor game or whatever, and I don't know what the situation is, then I'd probably bring my Glock 45 or my Glock 17. Either one, it wouldn't matter, or any other Glock for that situation. Now, playstyle. If I were to define what my CQB playstyle is, I would say it's a combination of how should I say, aggression and tactics. Now, I can adapt. I try my best to adapt my style, especially nowadays, because, you know, depending on the situation or who you're playing with, you know, things change. Some guys are more reserved, and, you know, I don't like having stalemates. So what I've been doing now is I've been going for it. I've been really going for it. So I would say right now my CQB style is to attack, you know, and to keep guys on defense. If guys are defensive, they're not offensive. The best, you know, the best defense is offense in that case, because in real life, if you're not attacking, you're defending, and you don't want to be on the defensive in a firefight. So what I want to know is, if you guys want to sound off in the comments section, list some of your favorite CQB guns for Airsoft, and you can include any other types of equipment and attachments that you use with your air guns as well. You know, I want to know what you guys think about gas blowback, submachine guns, pistols. Yeah, I think there are some gas shotguns that are coming out, like the Sega. But yeah, I mean, I've been really liking the shotguns a lot for CQB for the last couple of months. As I said before, for me right now, they just tend to really work, and they're very efficient, especially the air cocking ones, because you're not really running gas or electricity. So you're free to pretty much, you know, bring your BBs, your shells, and your enthusiasm and your energy, and you can pump. I can get really good, powerful output, high output shots that are just under a joule with very good power, and in most cases even more power than some of my gas blowback pistols. So Sound off in that comment section, guys. What are your favorite CQB guns? Also, what strategy are you guys employing for CQB? And what do you normally do in certain CQB situations? And what do you normally use? Okay? I'm very interested in knowing this. I've been in the last set of comments that I got on the last video. There's one particular person, and I'm sorry, I'm really difficult. I have such a hard time remembering the screen names for the guys. You guys are commenting on YouTube, and I do love the fact that you guys are commenting more and more now, and I'm very grateful for that. A lot of people have been having difficulty using like their carbines and such in CQB, and they're having more success with the pistol. And one of the main reasons for that is because with the pistol, it enables you to move a lot more easier, and it's just way more flexible of a platform sometimes in bringing an AR and carrying it and dealing with weight or the sling or whatever the case is. And you can really move and be very effective if you have confidence behind that platform. So that's one of the main reasons why you're probably going to have more success with that in CQB. And I'll be honest with you, in most cases, when I'm really going after guys and I'm trying to play a very high-paced, quick style, normally I have that confidence where I'm going to draw my sidearm and I'm going to engage. And you'll see that from time to time in a lot of content that I'm going to be putting out as well. So definitely, I think that it's highly relevant. It's definitely, what the situation entails. But my advice is, if you really want to get the best, the most out of it, especially when you're playing CQB, try using different platforms that you're not as strong with. And that's what I've been doing right now, and just try to go out of your own box. I've been trying to pretty much use these different platforms in CQB just to really test my tactical wherewithal. So I've been trying to employ some of the NWSs. It's all about how you run things. I've been trying to employ the gas rifles, the Mark 18, the shotgun, which, as I mentioned before, I had no interest in using shotguns. Once I pretty much saw what it was about, understood how to run it, now I can't even put my shotgun down. So my advice to everyone is step out of your comfort zone, try something new, and see where it can take you. So the next installment for the Art of CQB, I want to focus on mindset. I want to focus on strategy, clearing, and utilizing angles. I think that that's pretty much a solid set of concepts that will be very beneficial, and will pretty much give everyone, a good, how should I say, like a good understanding overall in terms of concepts and how you clear and navigate and best guys, even when some people have more experience than you. You got to remember, it's not about, all the time, what are some of the things that you would entail that would make a guy good, or have someone who is better than you. What makes someone better than you? Is it because that they have military experience, or the fact that they operate real firearms? My philosophy is like this, and it's the same one that I took from combat sports, is that whatever's on paper is on paper. The fight is in blood and sweat. So what only matters is what happens in the moment. It's not about what you think or how good you think the other person is. None of that matters. It's about what you do in the moment. So we're going to take a look at some of those aspects and try to see, how we can uncover some things that will make us a little bit more successful in that realm. And we can really, really delve into some concepts that can kind of help us in terms of being not only, meeting the standard, but being on top of the standard and being ahead of our enemies and being pretty much ahead of the curve, one step ahead in those engagements, if that makes sense. So once again, I want to thank all you guys for always sticking by me, man, and for watching my videos and for supporting me. Once again, I cannot say it enough. Thank you guys for all you new viewers. Okay, this is the channel. We are going into this thing, you know, in the right way, in my opinion. So you guys join the gang, stick on for the ride. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. You guys know what it is, man. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, leave all your thoughts in the comment section. Whatever you guys are thinking about, leave it in there. This is Takashi Grami TV. Thank you guys once again. Stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.